Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is nighttime here at Metalworks. We're here at Team Fortress TV. I am Row. I'm here with Skyrolla and Looster, our camera guy. We're going to be rocking and rolling here with CTF Turbine. Bring back Turbine DM versus the newly polished Meat Market featuring everyone's favorite homeboy, Corsa. Let's just jump right into the teams. Skyrolla, who you got?
Meat Market today is bringing you Corsa and Cookie on Scout, Sin as their roamer, Broking on Pocket, and Alex.exe on Demo, May on Medic.
And in fact, May is one of the last two players waiting to join the server before we get right into things. And over on the side of Bring Back Turbine DM, we've got the full roster here with Max as well as Happy Cool on Scout, with Phantom the Medic, Dingo the Demo, and Marmalou and Mason the soldiers. Mason, I believe, is also the only other person we're also waiting on. No, everyone's in the server on the side of what's it called? Turbine. Why do we have a Happy Cool and a chair user? This is throwing me off. Chair user's Mason, right? That's what I think I'm seeing now.
Well, one of them is Mason, one of them is Phelps.
Yeah, and I think Happy Cool is Phelps, so I think chair user is Mason.
We'll figure it out by which one's playing Scout and which one's playing Pocket.
Right. So, you've seen this roster of Meat Market, right? You see those names, and what do you think compared to the pseudo revival of Dingo and crew? Dingo and Mason in particular. How do they match up?
I definitely think we've got an interesting clash of styles tonight with Meat Market, the Bro King led team. You definitely know you're going to have some clear and cohesive calling. He is very assertive in that way. And they've been displaying some pretty good aggression in their first two matches, which is the way that they always used to play as well. And then on the other side, you've got sort of an old guard in the Woodpig guys of Dingo and Mason, joining with some fresh faces this season. But really no weakness on their roster either, so I think they can match up pretty well, especially with the roaming demo style at Dingo.
Yeah, and Metalworks is one of those maps where all these doorways seem to be perfect bait for a bombing demo, or even just at the right time, catching your players out if you're just a little bit too committed or not out in time. We're going to be seeing a lot of that action going down with, locking down those doorways.
Yeah, and you need to be very careful on the flanks too when you're trying to push on Metalworks, as backcaps are very, very vulnerable on the second and the last point.
Yeah, I'm just good. What is the breakdown for this season? Is it one map twice a week now, or is it back to still doing the votes and choosing these maps intentionally?
It's still on a voting system. I'm actually not sure the specific system, but I know it's some kind of voting system still.
Gotcha. So one of these teams intentionally chose to let this be the map tonight. So somebody is intentional about being good at this map, and that's something I'm looking forward to, because Metalworks is just one of those oddball maps that doesn't get a lot of play, or at least not in regular season, compared to maps like Snakewater, Process, sometimes Granary or Sunshine, Gully Wash.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Meat Market was the team that picked this, because I know this is probably a map that Broking has a lot of fun on for sure. Soldiers tend to like this map. You know, every map's good for scouts, but maybe this not quite as good as ones like Sunshine or others.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this mid is that high bomb that was very famously coined by Mela, even though Shade likes to think that there's so many ways you can deal with that situation, but we'll see how these soldiers go. I know Broking's going to be a flyboy this game, and we're going live.
Yeah, first mid here. I'm interested to see what Marmalou is going to do, actually. I think the roamer bombs on the Metalworks mid are very important, whether they're effective or not. Let's see.
Yeah, we first got these things rolling out with Dingo. making his way through the halls, same time as Alex, virtually. Both opting to go. No, Alex doubles back to the lower. Gonna be getting an early sticky onto Dingo here, as also Dingo gonna be getting his first shots out. But Alex getting arrowed up means he's gonna be alive and healthy for this. Marmalou very quickly gets into the aggressive garage, and then falls back up to try to meet up with Sin. Sin takes down Dingo. Broking not able to get anything else following up at the same time, but the high ground is available to Meat Market, and they are just dealing with 2 players in the mid still. Max going to be making a nice little surf away at the last possible second, and heals are very low. Alex waiting for one last arrow, and Max taking an opportunity to get really aggressive here. Does manage to pick up, but with a little bit of help from Happy Cool, the Cookie Scout. And Corsa now rotating back out before meeting up with what I believe is Mason. And now Mason keeping up the aggression, going to be bombing in. Nope. The sticky trap did a lot of damage, but he will be making an escape, and this is going to be the moment of respite, rest and relaxation. Everyone's getting set up and rotating over to Ali.
That was a really good mid for CTF. They started sort of on the back foot with the roamers trading positions, and they got pushed back. They didn't get too aggressive, whereas Meat Market did. But on the rebound by Marmalou, they took their space and they got the frags. Were able to push out Meat Market.
See a little bit of action. Max very aggressive underneath, while Marmalou's found his opening to get in behind. Just managed to hit one good rocket, but May not going to be able to dodge the second one because it got killed instantly. The scouts were on it, and now they're ready to push through this house very quickly. We do see a little bit of juggle coming out from Dingo, who's trying to make sure this team is very interested in popping to get through, and instead they decide to back off here, waiting. A lot of damage coming out from Max, who's very low on health. The pistol from Corsa is desperately finding its target. He's going to be able to make a good escape here too and get healed back up while they work for the drop down and rotate over to the valley to create some room. We do see Broking also taking some spam shots from the choke. They're waiting to initiate here. Cookie takes a leap across the left side, and finally here comes Broking, also putting out some damage. The force comes out from the medic on the side of Turbine DM before getting launched to the skybox. Gonna have to make a tactical retreat with the rest of the squad here. Broking, who overcommitted, is gonna go down here, and the follow-up bomb from Sin. Marmalou is gonna be able to pick up a scout, and that's just the collapse. Now we do see Marmalou and Happy Cool going down. It's CTF Turbine, the Turbine team, making their way through with a very clean defensive hold, pushing into second for free.
I like the idea from Meat Market. They did get a lot of space, and they were able to push through the valley pretty far there without losing anybody. But the Ubers were forced pretty much simultaneously, and it ended up with CTF being a little bit more healthy. They won the afterfight pretty handily.
I was very surprised, especially with the way that Uber went. The skyboxed Phantom still managed to pull through for the rest of the DM. I think that's what their secret is. They just know a lot of Turbine DM, and they have it in their belts, and that prepares them for this last push, which is going right into a sentry. Immediately gets taken down here, and Max is going to be clearing the way out on the right side here. Gets struggled a little bit. Sticky's all over the point. It's not going to be easy to cap. We do see Marmalou now wrapping around, trying to get some damage on the Broking. He does manage to kill him while he's trying to rocket jump in spawn. And now it's just heads up, Alex versus the world. He is trying to make something happen. Got a lot of stickies on the ground, but gets juggled up by his own stickies and then kept airborne by the scattergun meat shots. First round goes to Turbine, and we're going into our second round. Second mid. 4 minutes, 3 minutes down practically.
They did a good job with the full ad getting in deep there, and Meat Market. It's tough to rotate through spawn on this map because the walls do block you from shooting the point.
And once again, Broking actually going up a little bit faster, and a lot of damage come out immediately from Alex, putting Dingo into a rough position. Follow-up spam from Sim actually managed to grab the pick from the choke. CTF takes full retreat. That was a very rough start to this next round, and Meat Market is not letting up.
Let's see if their aggression here is a little bit more disciplined if they can get into second.
Creating a lot of ground here. Marmalou also very quick to get initiated. It's a lot of damage here. Doesn't get arrowed up in time, and now follow-up bomb from Sin is going to be able to catch out this medic. Huge damage on the Phantom, but didn't have Uber, didn't need to pop. Going to grab that small pill and reconvene on the point with the rest of the squad. Turbine DM now ready to get into this little bit of a spam war close to the choke, and Meat Market is rotating really quickly, getting ready to initiate once again.
Yeah, I think if that pick on Phelps didn't happen, you might have seen CTF try to push into mid here. being said, there's a lot of space in alley, and Meat Market's kind of fully inhabiting it right now on that health kit area.
Oh, there it is. Sin taking a lot of that ground, gets the perfect rocket to juggle a pencil dive out of Phantom, and makes the great escape. Sin definitely opening up the door for this Meat Market
I can't
push.
believe he got out. Yeah, that was
Insanity. But yet there's a soldier that got behind. Marmaloo, the roaming dog himself, following up with Mason. Nice little rockets onto May. May at 10 HP. Very inclined to pop, but does manage to hold on to it. Marmaloo is going to be enacting on the point. If Cookie doesn't take him down, it does work out. And now Meat Market has the picks. No soldiers. This is prime pushing opportunity.
Yeah, Mason just didn't get deep enough to get the force there, but they did buy a lot of time. Phantom already up to 85% on the Uber charge, so pretty successful in terms of stalling with those sacks there.
And the aggression is so strong right now, but they can't find Phantom. This Uber is so deep, they managed to pick up 2, including Dingo, but the counterpop comes out with Max leaving the charge. Gonna have to rotate left, right, and center just to find something to get. Happy Go gonna get the first frag on the Bro King, and now the rest of the team is reconvening onto this point. Meat Market are not in the best position. They do manage to pick up 1 Phelps and start rotating around, but CTF Turbine are going to be on top of this. They're getting back into this med, who's a little overextended. May going to go down here. One more scout. It's Alex.exe, and that function is no longer running.
It's so difficult to gauge the respawn timer sometimes, especially when you're pushing last. I think Meat Market there just lost a little bit of track of the fact that CTF was getting 2 spawners, and as soon as those guys came in, it was easy pickings on May.
Quick recap coming out from CTF, and a little bit of a weary positioning. They're taking it careful. They know they have the Uber advantage, but their positioning actually could have been very disastrous there for for Turbine, as Meat Market was very far into the house, and has also managed to pick up Mason. With 1 down, but they have the Uber. They got to decide how they want to do this. Max takes a huge damage shot before making his way forward here, rushing to get into May's face, but Corsa is there to slow it down. And now Turbine trying to find any last pickoffs. We do see Cookie swapping over to that sniper, gets the sniper shot from the forward spawn, picks off Dingo, and then manages to work with the rest of the squad to take down everything at mid. They're working into second here with Phantom and Mason playing the shutter. Sin on low health manages to get a nice shot to discourage any peeking from the soldier on the Turbine team. And now we do see small advantage in the hands of Turbine, but they are on last, so we will see how they decide to use it.
The chase was on Phantom there and lower. He had no one with him for a long time, but Sin was only about 30 health, and he might have gotten 1 rocket jump off, but obviously that would have been a very difficult play for him to make.
Very tricky indeed. It's a lot of sticky setup here from Alex onto this point, so main is pretty much all but locked off. A lot of aggression also in the shutter area. Turbine can't decide how they want to approach it. Dingo's got good eyes on everything. He's calling it out for his team. Hey, let's go this way. They do manage to clear off the top tier of stickies, but there's still a couple more on the main, and now the Uber should be ready for Meat Market at any moment. CTF decides this is no longer our opportunity, and they back off.
A little bit of indecisiveness there, but pushing out of last through the shutter or the choke near the point is very very difficult to actually get the space and get any frags there. Looks like they got an engineer going up here for CTF as well. Gonna bunker it down. Let's see if he puts it by the crates or under the bridge.
For the most part, same area as the previous team. Sin taking advantage of that wall to get in. A little bit of help from Cookie on the right side. Manages to pick it off, but unfortunately Sin cannot make that same escape as before. Cookie, though, very much committed to this kill on Max. If he can get it, he gets a lot for his team, and Max throws off the taunt. You just fed for no reason, and that's a nom for that Cookie.
Yeah. Max was real happy that he lived through that one.
Turbine now trying to take a little bit more room, but they have to back off here, reconvene, decide how they want to approach this. They got the spy checking things out, and then swapping back over to the rest of the team, getting set up here. No off. They called out the off classes by doing that little spy trick there, and now they know Cookie gonna be going for once again some snipes, maybe on Dingo's head once again. The shot is lined up. Door's gonna open at any second here. He's calling for it. Broking also peeking forward. Takes a full body shot on Max, but does not connect the head, of course. Naturally. And nothing to do with there.
Yep, Phantom's been putting himself in the anti-sniper spot in that little dip valley area with the sentry gun watching over both entrances.
Yeah, very good protection overall. This is the bubble of influence, and Broking, knowing that there's a medic in singular position, goes for the bomb, gets two perfectly placed rockets to force Phantom. Phantom didn't even want to risk it. He knew he got juggled once and popped out of fear, even though the sentry had a lot of ground to cover. That second rocket actually was perfectly poised on Phantom. So, Meat Market now, full advantage. Going to be taking their options with Cookie in tow.
Yeah, I think that Uber pop was a slight mistake. He had enough health to live through another rocket, and he should have trusted that the sentry was going to keep Broking far enough away. Broking's rocket was pretty long range. I don't think it would have killed him.
No, it would have been like maybe 70 max, and he was still at 90. Corsa, though, taking the first brunt of this Uber, immediately onto the sentry, but no one else follows up, so he dies post-Uber. Very well played by Max to air blast these players into the corner. And with a follow-up from Mason trying to pressure them from the connector, he's going to be rotating over to the rest of this shutter and this fountain area up top to, you know, discourage any players from rotating around. Meat Market now playing fully defensive on this second rather than this lobby. And Turbine is deciding how they want to push out here. They know they have the ad. They just got to be wary of any backcaps. But with Cookie still on Sniper, there's a lot of potential for them to make sure they've checked everything. They pop very early through the shutter here as Dingo does that quick bomb out. Tries to get to the squad. Alex is very interested in contesting this point now. He's rotating back over to the front lines. Corsa, though, might get caught here. Very well timed by Dingo as he tries to bully his way through. Can't find his way into the drop down because of those edges. And that's going to be a very crucial pick for Meat Market as they also now have their Uber.
Coming right in here, too.
Yeah, very quick in there. Mason got a mini air shot as he was trying to bomb and eventually goes down. The Uber is faded. Turbine has lost their medic, and that's going to be very big. But Marmalou, not ready to give up here, is going to be putting out some fat damage. Going to take down Sniper at the very least. Decides not to go for May at all. But a Sniper pick is definitely better than nothing. Dingo now all alone here. Got a trap above the banana. Doesn't connect, though. And we're seeing how he can slow this team down while the respawns are up. They are ready. Sin over on the left side, not going to be able to jump in. Meat Mark decides, let's back off. We have 20 ad. Let's build it out. But I don't think it's going to be enough because 20 ad is very minuscule. You have basically the moment you get Uber to use it to find the medic and kill them. And this is Metalworks last, where there's so many backwards places they can play to kite this Uber. I don't think it's going to be that fast of a bomb, but they have managed to squeak out a 36 ad. Let's see how it works for them.
And CTF's bunkering down here with everything they got. They got the heavy with the Tomislav. They got the sentry again on the right side. Here comes the Uber, though.
Quickly onto the gun. Finally managed to take it down after using about half of that Uber. The heavy around the corner, though, not going to survive for much longer. Dingo tries to get some initiation here on the left side. Can't clean up the kill onto Alex. He gets arrowed up and is ready to stop this point. Cookie steps on it. Dingo walks into the trap, perfectly executed. But the Uber's ready for Phantom. It is a singular push from Marmalou, who's now juggling Alex for his life. Perfect direct.
Oh, man,
predicts the shot and is now moving forward. Meat Market is shook by this great timing and defense. The respawns are up and the cap is started. Sin can't contest, and it looks like the cap goes to CTF.
And that rocket was huge because that means Meat Market's without a demo, so there's no chance here of contesting. They're coming in, though. They're going to try.
Both soldiers, quick bomb from the alleyway is going to initiate a lot of damage here. Broking, though, not going to survive. They just pick up Marmalou and Happy Cool. It's going to be the rest of the initiation on the left side. The scouts are poised up on this ramp in the alley, but can't really push any further than that. Alex only just cutting the crossfire from this choke. A couple spam shots comes out, but not really connecting with anything. It's just... Oh, wow. Quick rotation from drop down is actually opened up. Meat Market scouts to get behind. Fitz was unaware, and it's immediately two-shot by Corsa and squad. This is what the Meat Market delivers. Straight to your door. Meat shots.
That was beautiful. They were careful. They made sure they didn't die, and they went under the flank area there. They saw no one was there. They took it all the way. It was great.
But Marmalou saves the round, picks off Alex at the from behind bomb, and he follows up a second one there, totally not aware. Marmalou is just farming
Oh
the
my
second
God.
point for free. He
That-
keeps rotating lower and then jumps back out. Unfortunately, Broking though, or excuse me, fortunately, Broking has managed to pick off the medic, and that has allowed them to get this cap. So now Meat Market are going to be ready to push with this full Uber ad. They now finally own that second, have the forward spawns, and are going to be working their way into last. But they have to be ready for Happy Cool, the sniper.
What a start to this game. This is exciting. Marmalou just turning the switch on to farm there as he totally saved the round. I mean, even the first kill wouldn't have been good enough. He needed to.
But the Uber is already set for Meat Market. The gun is way far back. They haven't focused time on the point, but there are stickies blocking it, so they just need to focus the demo here. Dingo staying alive here for the rest of the squad. Broking starts the cap, backs out to coax Dingo to pop his stickies. And now Meat Market here are getting corralled into the choke. Not going to survive. Broking waiting underneath. He does get called out, tries to go for a bomb, but clips the side. Can't connect any rockets and will go down. Sin, though, quickly running up, going to get one shot onto Happy Cool before backing up and trying to catch this choke here. He does manage to get a lot of damage on the Mason, who can't surf. He goes a little too far over the fence and craters. But now, finally, second cap going to CTF.
You think there might have been a little bit of frustration there for Meat Market, not being able to get the point there after the cap on second was denied? They might have rushed that push a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, it was all theirs. They locked him out. They needed to either force the demo or just sack the stickies and then finish the cap. But instead, they just backed up and then got forced by all the counter aggression from CTF, who has now been forced off in their own valley. Speak of the devil. A lot of damage coming out from Dingo to catch them through the door, but they managed to squeak out in time and then rotate back in. They're at 65%. They're just taking a dry push fight into this mid, and their first frag onto the medic means no heals. Turbine in a very dangerous, precarious position as they start to back out here. But chair user Mason tries to connect a couple rockets, but meets a pipe instead.
CTF scattered all over the place there. Both their soldiers were low health and they had a man behind them. So pretty disjointed on that attempt to push into mid. The Uber didn't end up going too well.
Yeah, very unfortunate when you're on the low ground from the valley especially. And now Meat Market with full advantage, working their way in through the left side once again. No gun to worry about, but it's underneath. They have picked the wrong position, but quickly dispatched by Alex, who's now rotated over to the right side here. He's trying to get a shot onto Marmalou. Can't connect a single pipe for his life. And now CTF has the respawns up in time. It's a two-shot from Max and a follow-up onto May. That will be the end of Alex and May. The respawns will be up for almost half the team. In fact, all of them will make it this time. Oh, just barely squeaked by. And actually, it caught another wave, so now 3 players are going to be respawning a couple seconds later. CTF now with their huge, mediocre crits advantage.
Ooh, that's kind of spicy. Any scouts or roamers here that don't think engineer does work? Just look at that Uber right there. Buys just enough time for everyone to shoot the gun, and those are frags that they're not picking up during the Uber.
Yeah, very unfortunate push overall, but now we'll see how CTF plays with his crits. They're calling for it. He gets the shot, does connect one rocket onto Sin, and the follow-up is very quick onto May. They have picked off everything else, and now Marmalou taking an arrow up. Alex trying to rotate through this garage door, trying to flood through the valley. Pulls the bind out instead. That's a wipe. Every single player is going to be able to spawn at least, though, thanks to this short timer. But Dingo has got his first sticky up, and he's going to be locking them in this. And we have a pause at a very exciting moment in this.
We got a stare down between Dingo and a pyro in the forward spawn. We got Broking also there, Sin and May. So I wonder if they're going to try and come out of the forward spawn. They got 4 people there.
It's going to be very tricky. That air blast is going to be setting the first and only chance to get into the face of Dingo. In fact,
one of the funniest pause moments I've ever seen. Like, this is a riot.
It's very aptly timed, and with Cookie all the way on last, he already backspawned. This means that this pyro needs to instantly Corsa has to commit to this pyro if he's gonna push out and get aggressive on Dingo. These soldiers are gonna get locked in. They're gonna have enough health to maybe get through, but Dingo, if he can time his stickies just right, is gonna absolutely stuff this. So it's gonna be very difficult, I think, for any of these blue players to get out. Dingo, even though he's all alone, he does have Marmalou coming up quick from the alley. So I don't think Dingo will be caught out here overall. I think he's got his position just right.
Oh yeah, I think the safe play is to just get out of the forward spawn, but I don't know. I could definitely picture Broking being like, all right, guys, we're gonna come out 2 at a time here, get on Dingo and kill him. And I don't know. Let's see how they play it. This is fun.
Could work out. I could do a quick damage score, but it was only from that first 4-minute round. Never mind, I can't give a damage score because things are broken on the ESEA website. But that's okay. We can talk about other things. Skyrolla, how are you feeling? I know you just said this has been a very exciting start to the match, but now that we've had time to sit and breathe, what are you feeling? How are you seeing things?
I've been loving the back and forth. Meat Market's definitely been able to take some space with their aggression so far, but also I like that crits play. If there was a team that you could get a successful crits on without risking too much position, Meat Market's probably it, because they are so aggressive. They do tend to try and take space where it is. And you saw those rockets lower, land true, and get a few kills. Yeah, this has been an exciting game so far. 1-0 back and forth. CTF only with a slight upper hand right now.
Yeah, the advantage has been very strong, very convincing for most of the time, especially with Meat Market. You mentioned it earlier, how Meat Market, okay, well, they finally have the opportunity, and Broking picked out the perfect time to bomb. Instantly gets onto Dingo here from lower, but Dingo picks up the pack and is going to be rotating over to the drop down. The rest of the heals are coming out through this choke, and Marmaloo skating across, tries to get a rocket jump, misses it out, but clears the lobby way with a little bit of help from the CTS scouts. They're pushing way in, and I don't see how Meat Market can defend this right now.
F50 ad here for CTF and Phantom. See what they decide to do here. No sentry from Meat Market.
Oh, but the crit screen gets stuffed. It didn't work out for them as Alex pulls up a 3K of his own before going down to Happy Cool with the pistol. Great rocket for Broking, allows Cookie to clean it up with one shot, one opportunity, but there comes the bomb from Marmaloo. Goes straight to the point here. Gets an insane air shot before Broking drops down and stops the cap. Phantom makes it out alive with his Kritzkrieg and is going to be meeting up with the rest of his crew. They are at a huge disadvantage now with Meat Market sitting very comfortable with their 100 ad against the Kritzkrieg. It's going to be very difficult for Turbine to defend against this, but they do have the sticky setup above the shutter, but they've picked the perfect position. They go down from lower and jump up into this choke. Marmaloo tries to initiate, meet up with Mason, trying to go for a coordinated back cap here, but Marmaloo has to double back with the help of his scouts in the lower area before backing out entirely. Meat Market get their cap, still have their ad, and we'll see how CTF uses this Kritzkrieg. They're going to pop it here almost instantly, trying to get a shot to Bay, but the pop goes off, and Corsa rushes through. Not connected with his medic, though. He's going to have to delay for just a moment before Broking bombs from the lower lobby. Drop down play from Corsa, tries to wrap around. He does manage to get picked off here by Max, though, and that's very unfortunate because now Meat Market do not have the numbers to contest this point, and it looks like the perfect opportunity for Turbine to rush as they start making their way in through this valley. Very aggressive onto Alex, who's trying to put out some damage here. Initiate for Broking, who's getting a perfect 2 rockets onto Phantom here before surfing his way out. He's waiting for an arrow. He does get pistoled down by Max, and a follow-up from Cookie will be able to clean up both soldiers. And now it's just Dingo alone, disconnected, tries to rush forward, surfs the rocket to get into the face of Corsa before dying, and Meat Market now have to save one more. Max is on the point. He gets taken down.
Corsa brought down to 1 HP there by Max.
Whew.
That's the issue with crits. Sometimes you do get backed up into places you don't always want to be, and then they use the crits there, but they had to be pushed out of the hallway. Here's the Uber on last.
Yes, they go through the left side, take care of the sentry that was still just building. Meat Market has done a full 180, and I love it. Very quick, very well done here. We do see Sin underneath gets arrowed up. Cookie gets taken down here on the point. Marmaloo not going to survive for much longer, and there it is, the final wipe and then the cap. That is a very, very strong remotivator. You mentioned it earlier, they must be frustrated for failing that push. They had the full ad, they pushed in the last, and they failed it. But that is the kind of hype you ride to take it into this momentum.
Is that Broking that just typed med resetting net? It seemed to be going to mid, though. Oh, no, they're just, yeah.
Yeah, they're still set. They're going for a Valley rollout, which is very strange to most players, but that's what happens when your med spawns about 2 seconds late. Broking can't survive the rocket as he tries to land on the truck pack, but the rest of Turbine have managed to be They managed to be in the really far way back position before taking down Cookie and then making their way back to the point here. They've now started to get some initiation here from all the different sides, finishing up this cap and now pushing from the alley. Meat Market are poised with an Uber at this back end, but Mason's going to be initiating with a lot of damage onto this soldier. Sin does not go down, and Alex will get the pipe. And that's a very good, strong pick to get them situated for maybe a push out here from drop down.
And one meat shot plus one pipe brings Mason from full to dead.
Those are the most satisfying kills when they just go from a 200 to 0. Meanwhile, Happy Cool trying to initiate, and a drop down play from Marlu is actually very well timed. Going to pick off Sin with the help of Dingo, throwing a miracle sticky from long range.
Yeah.
And now this Uber is just trying to get them out.
Where did that sticky come from? Like, he was on mid.
Yeah, it was a fully charged shot just to connect one soldier. But this pop was very questionable. It didn't really do much. Mason now walking in front of the point here, trying to get a little bit of extra damage off on Cookie, who's rushing this lower drop down. Mason not gonna be able to stay alive. He's very low on health. Cookie just needs to breathe on him. He does manage to find him at the right time and fix him off, but not before Happy Cool can get the revenge kill. And now, stabilizing out here, Turbine could be capping the second point. Not a sizable advantage to work with here, practically nil. But maybe they think they have more than they have and will go for a push.
That was great. The wise veteran Dingo caught the shadow, and I think it was it Marmaloo that was holding the corner of Maine, and he just one-piped him to death.
Yeah, a little tip, if you're going to be holding a corner, move like half a step to your right so you're not touching the wall and the shadows don't go through. This Uber initiated by Meat Market is actually not working in their favor. Bro King got juggled horrifically, and now May even won't be able to get out here. So now Turbine looking very strong to reconvene onto this last. Corsa tries to dance around, but Dingo takes him down. Cookie, the last one alive, trying to work his way to this point here. Happy Cool with full health, gonna take a meat shot and then deliver his own package to the Meat Market. 2-1, Turbine leads with very little time in this half.
Good patience and good picks from CTF there. I actually saw Phelps Goomba broking as he tried to rocket jump, and that must have felt pretty bad. That was a meat shot plus a Goomba splat.
Very unfortunate for Bro King, not getting the best out of that Uber. And Alex also getting locked out here early on from Dingo. Marmaloo jumps very quick. I like this bomb, but somehow doesn't manage to get the frag before Corsa takes him down. Dingo will pick it up though, so no demo is really good for CTF. But Meat Market still has the high ground here. We do see Mason gets an early high, or excuse me, just a flat high bomb. Doesn't really initiate anything, and Dingo getting juggled here as well. It's going to be very difficult for the rest of the team. Turbine now are in this valley as Sin just drops down. Does not manage to get very much damage off. It does manage to get the damage off, but doesn't manage to stick around for very long. Turbine now backing out while Meat Market is very quick on the hunt. And they have Bro King as well, ready to initiate here for a 1v2, 2v4. What's going on here?
Of course, is out of ammo, so I don't think CTF's going to have to use.
Very interesting. They tried to pop to recommit, but they know that with 4 players up, if they overextend, they're going to lose everything. So Meat Market backs out. Turbine now opting for a push from lower. Does seem to be coming through the valley as Max rushes over to the Corsa. Does spot out Bro King, and the crew, Happy Cool, takes a huge rocket there on 1 HP now as Bro King makes his way to the alley. Meat Market can reconnect here very quickly if Bro King walks up and tells them, hey, I'm bombing now. He does spot out Max on the point, throws his first rocket here, tries to pull the attention of these players, but Marmaloo, who tried to initiate into the Meat Market, does manage to get killed. So that's not very good for CTF as they're still dealing with Bro King, finally taken down in the back lobby. But that somehow that splash rocket from Sin from the crate connects in lobby onto poor Happy Cool. So now a lot of numbers in the hands of Meat Market. They will get this cap. There won't be a forward spawn, and we'll see how this works for Meat Market as they push forward.
I was a little nervous for May there. His health bouncing up and down a bit. He was hovering around 30 for a while.
Dancing with the devil. Does manage to get some heals up very quickly to this front line. They might want to push through here, but they're just taking it easy. You know, Max goes down. We got our pick. Let's just See how we're gonna roll with this. Check corners, check traps, clear things out. Meat market now getting into the banana. And Sin just gonna be going for a quick bomb, hoping there's no sentry. Does manage to get right onto Dingo. One more rocket's all it's gonna take. So much damage, and a follow-up pipe does manage to connect with a roller splash from an iron bomber. That's a feels bad, man. And we'll do see maybe CTF can push out, try and get some aggression here, but they cannot. Dingo down, even though they sacked 2 players, Dingo down is huge, and Broking's going to be initiating here. Maybe grabs another. He does manage to pick off Max here, and maybe a third, throw off a little random rocket. No, he's not going to go for the crazy shot. Mason will survive very shortly after, almost being in death's grip.
I love the timing from Meat Market. Just when CTF's about to catch their breath, you know, nice exhale. Soldiers come in and get another pick.
And then Cookie just jumps in like a weirdo. It's okay. It's planned. He's gonna swap to sniper, and they're gonna be doing some plays with that. It was not a misplay. He tried to get in, but no.
I don't think he knew the sentry was up at all. So
yeah.
Looks like he's staying on scout for now.
Well, the timing is very short, so they want to be ready for like the perfect frag session. They don't want to go for a sniper play. These Metalworks angles are just very unforgiving, and CTF is playing to that. They know if there was a sniper, they have all of these barriers to sit behind. And all this scorch shot stuff is doing a lot of afterburn damage. Poor Sin couldn't get an arrow because May was in the other side of the lobby. An entire connector between them. Sin regrettably burns to death.
You're spot on with the calls as usual, Ro. The sniper sightline's not too great on Metalworks. It's a safe way to try to get a pick, but honestly the medic, like you said, just hide behind the wall. You'll usually be okay. CTF bringing out the Pyro Engineer once more. Worked for them very well last time. And they know there's no spy.
So the Uber comes through with Corsa straight to Marmalou. Gets the damage off to force it off. Marmalou tries to cut them off. Dingo tries to help as well, but doesn't work out. Meat Market gets out, and now they're going to re-exchange here on the right side here. Marmalou very low on health, going to back out with one rocket jump of his own. Sin going to be initiating onto the sentry. Does manage to get a couple good shots off, but the sentry is just plucking away. So is the engineer. Everyone wipes. That is a May alive, and that's the end. That was their last opportunity. It is 2-1. Turbine in the lead.
Yep, Max taking all those years, possibly, of pub experience and landing a number of scorch shot hits there. The majority of Meat Market was pretty roasted by fire through that attempt.
I mean, there's a reason it's banned in every other whitelist except the ESEA. That afterburn has literally no drawbacks, and we saw it in action there. They were down to less than half health, both of them. And one of them had to get the pack, and Sin took the heat and took the sacrifice so that the other could live.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I saw Corsa get knocked down to 3 HP, then get arrowed just as he got stickied. He lived through the sticky, and then he got hit by a scorch shot. And fizzled away.
Control point is being captured.
Very unfortunate. Let's look at these stats here. It's a little skewed by that pause, but I think you know who top damaged. Say it for me. Say it for me loud and clear.
I'd have to guess Dingo or Corsa.
You're correct. It was Dingo and Corsa. Actually, it was Corsa. Corsa just squeaked out 200 more damage, 268 DPM.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure of that, but they usually are the ones that do a lot of work for their teams, for sure.
It's very refreshing to see Corsa just topping the charts for his team. 24 frags, 15 deaths, top damage. But as we see on the Turbine side, their frags are just so much more widely spread. You got Happy Cool and Max, 30 and 25 apiece, with you know, your soldiers and demos just plucking by, barely pulling a 1-to-1 ratio. But that's where the damage is coming through for Turbine DM, and that's where Happy Cool and Max are also following up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't sleep on Phelps either. DPM is not the only important stat. He was 30 and 11.
Very strong stat, you know. It seems very unprofound, but if you have a lot of kills and few deaths, you are probably doing good. Sorry, it wasn't very profound.
That was very profound to me. Here's another profound idea. I also saw Corsa get to farm at least 2 heavies, so there you go. Maybe that's the difference in DPM.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a scout, as beautifully crafted as Corsa. You can just walk up to a heavy and just navigate those 1, 2, 3 shots and take it down for your team, because those heavies on Metalworks last usually don't last very long if they're behind the barrier.
Yeah, and really overall both teams have been doing good work in this match. It's been back and forth, and we've got a tight one here. We've got an exciting second half to look forward to once these guys get readied up.
Yeah, what kind of story are you seeing in these stats? I think we've covered most of it, but 16 Ubers, 7 deaths, 8 deaths. Pretty even neck and neck for the medics. Thankfully, May is doing a lot more damage for his team. 260. A lot of arrows coming through.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any drops, and the difference in Ubers could just be because they were crits for a little bit. But really, I'm seeing a balanced game where the patience of Bring Back Turbine so far has won out slightly. They've managed to catch Meat Market being a little over aggressive a few times, and they've taken advantage. Here we go, the second half.
Yeah, we'll see once again if Dingo can have the advantage at this mid. He does manage to get to the choke a little bit faster than Alex, but Alex has opted to go to the choke route this time, so he won't be taking any early damage. Meat Market takes early ground right away on the red side here, as they have pretty much locked out any of these players. They're sitting comfortably in Valley and Lobby, but not really getting any initiation here, so Meat Market has a lot of ground to work with. And Broking locking down this choke. CTF Turbine calls for the back off. They need to just sit here on second and get ready for our first stalemate of this half.
Yeah, and the way I've been looking at these mids so far, that seems to be a good job telling the story, is which team is spamming down, which team is spamming up.
Ooh. Mason hit a nutty rocket on a Cookie there, and actually it was Sin who initiated a very good high bomb, got into the face of Phantom, but died almost instantly after. So now 2-man advantage for Turbine. They're going to get forced onto May before Marley goes down here. Broking, though, with a lot of picks of his own, is going to be pulling the players back. CTF can't play 3v6 effectively, so now they're going to have to rotate over to the point before Ubering. They're going to have to lock it down here. Broking causing some trouble in this lobby. Might be able to grab Mason. Does manage to dodge that rocket, and Broking walks forward, pickaxe out. He gets the shot and gets the force before going down. How could you ignore Broking like that?
Oh, and he knows how ridiculous that was. He's laughing in chat. That was so funny. They thought he was just running the other way, but he stuck around and came back with the pickaxe ready.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing, and I don't think CTF was prepared. Phantom spooked by it. That was the funniest part. He just heard the one shot, and he was like, nope, using. So Phantom erring on the side of caution. Might cost his team this push, because there's a full Uber ready for Meat Market, and they are ready to push.
I wonder. Oh my god. I wonder if there's any nerfs for Phantom this game. He did pop a Uber a little hesitantly earlier as well.
Yeah, we're seeing a trend in that, but we'll see how it progresses as we move forward here. Alex goes down in this push. Meat Market did not get what they wanted, and now with Turbine having a good Uber situated here, somehow Sin pulls another amazing high bomb and lands right where he needs to. He's just carrying that momentum of the rockets as he lands and finds his way through these doorways and picks off these players. Cookie, though, on second, gonna have to fight Marmaloo. He's the king of second, though. We've seen it before, but he's getting a little spooked here. Thankfully, though, it was enough aggression to push Cookie off the point and nab CTF the first middle of this half.
On. Yep, he does get Marmalade. that's gotta feel bad in the valley, and the scouts coming over, the jumping from the planks. You have to hit directs, or else you're just gonna die. And he only had a chance to fire one.
Mm-hmm. Now Meat Market clearing the way here, trying to go in for a dry push. Turbine now having to back around. They're moving around. Mason taking a lot of rocket jumps and landing these surfs. Does manage to get out, and Meat Market pushed them out just enough to get this cap. We do see a couple stickies in the lobby here, so Meat Market needs to be careful if they decide to push up, but with it being relatively even Ubers, and wow, Turbine gave a lot of room back. They didn't want to get wrapped by anything, so they just pushed all the way to their second. We'll see how Meat Market responds.
Yeah, very easy to get wrapped. There's no visibility on the flanks here on Metalworks.
Quick bomb again from Sin. Gonna be flashed with this Uber to get out and activate the Uber on the other side. Broking also behind, tries to get into Happy Cool here. Marmaloo's gonna be trying to deal with this player from behind. He's sitting very precariously in front of that shuttle. Does get taken down here. Meanwhile, back at the Uber exchange area, we do see one back and forth underneath this point. A lot of action, and Alex pulls off with nice pipe to take down all these players. We'll see how Mason responds, as he is the only spawn. Dingo and Phantom will be up just in time. It's going to be a 3v3 here, depending on how quickly they can move. Two great rockets helps Corsa take it down, and locking out Dingo means that this cap is all but theirs. Meat Market ties it up 2-2.
And they only had a few respawners there, a nearly impossible task, and Mason got swallowed up whole by the Scout and Soldier combo there. But I gotta throw a shout out to Sin, as the last two Ubers coming out of Phantom, he landed on Phantom with 2 rockets the second the Uber was over, both times. I don't even know if he was trying to do the first.
Very apt timing from Sin. We'll see how he plays this mid, as Marmaloo very aggressively pushes Alex back into the corner. Sin's going to have to initiate here to create some ground for the rest of his team. He puts out a lot of damage to push him back out the valley. Roller spam comes through. Dingo can't survive. It's a nice shot from Corsa to wrap around back to this lobby with Sin. Broking went down, but Sin is ready to push through this lobby, and the cap is going to go down for Cookie. Let's see how Meat Market continues this onslaught from the left side. We do see some crossfire initiated from Alex as he's sitting at the choke, spamming, while the rest of the team pushes forward here. We do see Sin waiting for an arrow, comes back in, takes down Mason with the help of Corsa, and now we'll see how Max and Turbine decide to play this. They're in front of the choke of this this lobby. They decide to pop off and get right into the fray, but May does finally have to pop as they chase back out. Phantom gonna have to flash, tries to find anything. Dingo hits 2 good pipes, but a flash saves Corsa. Max on the point hill is going to be initiating onto this cap. It's really strong for Turbine's defense. Somehow they've been pulling out the frags one by one, normally with a nice point-blank air shot. Also managed to pick up May here, and with a final frag onto Broking, that's a full wipe with Corsa, who's just not respawned, but he respawned earlier in this fight and is now dead. There's the wipe. Meat Market kind of shaky going into this second push.
Marmaloo wisely checking the hiding spot there, and he found himself a Corsa.
What went wrong there? Turbine was just all over that defense.
Max went huge there. He picked up 2 crucial kills that gave Turbine the confidence to come back in and fight on the second point and win that fight. Before that, they were looking a little hesitant, maybe a little bit wary, as they were giving up quite a bit of space for free to Meat Market. But those kills by Max seemed to reset the meter for them to just go out and fight.
Sin there puts a little bit of damage out, gets the force out, and Dingo tries to get his bomb, but it's interrupted by something. Doesn't manage to get any ground with it, and now Turbine owning the point, almost gonna get it. They are gonna get it before the push, but Meat Market has their Uber. Alex is waiting to push into this lobby, clear things out while they push out the left side. There is no initiation into this lobby now. While they've locked down every possible exit, they have to wait for this trap. The trap goes off before it can kill anyone, and Sin will pick up the first frag onto Mason. But there's a back cap from Marm. The cap was stopped.
Yep. Nobody watching that. I don't know if he came through main or the left, but he clearly got a clean look and got through. Very, very tough to deal with back caps on Metalworks. This points cap pretty quick, and you just don't have visibility between the pathways.
I think it came from lower because Sin was playing on the left side of the point, so it had to be from the right side, going up that ramp.
That's a big momentum swing. Here we go with the next mid. Who's going to be shooting downhill at the other team?
Right now, it's looking more like Turbine is on the downswing. They're all the way behind, not really getting any ground, playing in their valley once again, very patiently, and it's costing them lives because Marmaloo's initiating, and so is Mason, and they aren't following up. So without following up on their soldier bombs, they're not going to get anything these mids. And Meat Market now has taken that momentum all the way to the second. They aren't going to lose this round if they can help it. They are going to keep the aggression and see how they can win these exchanges. And now Turbine is all the way at their last, getting set up with some off classes, an engineer. But Meat Market is ready to roll. Sin immediately jumps in. A great rocket onto Phantom. One more reload would have been enough, but thankfully the scout does save him. This aggression, though, is very strong, though. Meat Market going to be initiating with a good pop off. The Sentry's trying to initiate here. Corsa just pistoling down Max before surfing away to safety, and he's keeping that pistol up. The gun is almost down. One more shot will take it, but he can't commit to it. He will back off, and Cookie goes down, unfortunately, to that Sentry. But Meat Market has themselves poised. Finally, the gun goes down. with a last-minute shot.
And Cookie was actually hiding behind the foundation, like right near the blue spawn. Nobody saw him, but the gun started shooting him when he came out to try and kill Phantom, and then the rocket hit him and he went down.
Very unfortunate, but good gun placement, so that definitely saved them a little bit of a heartbreak as Phantom went down after all that exchanging.
Yeah, I don't know if a normal sentry gun would have actually shot him there, but the placement paid off for that time. Phantom might have died. And also Marmalou hit a beautiful rocket during that fight, a downward air shot onto Broking as he was sort of floating right under him.
Sin once again initiates a good bomb with a little bit of help from Cookie. He will make an escape. Broking though will go down as he seemed to be the fall guy for this push. Dingo now pushing aggressively into this connector, tries to open up a little bit but knows he can't overextend with his team still holding this last. So Turbine, even though they have a reasonable pick, they're just going to have to focus on defense for now, as once again they're just throwing bodies here, and Sin makes the escape once again.
Yep, still plenty of time. Meat Market only down 1 round, so they don't really need to feel rushed to do anything here. They can take whatever strategies, sacks, manipulations they want to try against the CTF team on last. But they're going to have to do it against a level 3 sentry and a level 3 dispenser. Real
Broking
game changer.
Does manage to pick up the, despite that dispenser being huge for Turbine. We're going to see Broking pick up a nice frag onto Mason here. A lot of spam coming out, but Cookie also initiating here, taking a lot of spam himself. Does manage to get a little bit of damage. Wow. Happy Cool does go down. Cookie pulls a taunt at the same time. The pop comes out from Turbine. Onto this point here, Meat Market getting a better pop. They just need to cap it. They need to stop Ubering and just touch it. Please, just touch it. Thank you. They got the frags during that Uber, but they literally had them pushed back, and the cap was nipple hairs away from being capped. Finally, they do pull it off, and it's 3-3. What a back and forth for this match.
Yeah, the frags came in there hard for CTF, and Sin got some nice rockets onto the engineer. I don't know if he was trying to kill the NG or the dispenser, but ended up getting both eventually.
New mid, new initiation from the soldiers. We do see the Meat Market soldiers recognize they have the advantage and they push aggressively with their soldiers. So now finally a change of pace. The soldier tried to go for a high bomb but pulled it back. Broking now in the back lines. Does get arrowed somehow miraculously and manages to pull an escape against Marmalou, who's desperate to get this kill. Gets arrowed back once again, and Turbine loses their first player of this mid. Marmalou finally gets met up, and Dingo will pick a nice pipe on the Corsa. But, ooh, that pipe onto Alex does discourage Meat Market. Broking, though, going to do some nice, quick, fast bombs to get around, but he won't be able to survive this. He's waiting for an arrow in the valley, and will get healed up. Turbine have managed to get a foothold onto the second point, but Meat Market does technically have the numbers to work with, and Marmalou pulling out what he always does, the Marm Spy. But decides he's back and forth, decides to pull it back, and now, because he went on Spy, he's not going to be ready for this post-fight. The Uber exchange did go off here. Or no, not even an exchange. Phantom just popped. What happened?
He's been popping a little quick to the trigger here. A couple of rockets landed on him from, I believe it was Sin? Yes, it was Sin. Not sure if he would have killed him with one more rocket, though. I didn't get a good view of that one.
So now May with a full Uber is going to be rushing in with Corsa. The trap or something manages to catch poor Alex, the demo. But this Uber will get a lot of ground for him. Corsa now trying to juggle his way through these lockers. Does get taken down here, won't survive. But the follow-up bomb from Broking is going to be fat here. Good damage overall. And Phantom goes down from May from the shutter. And now with one player on last, Cookie tries to get a little bit behind. Does not manage to pull it off. May will have to be able to get out on account of that. We'll see how CTF responds. They don't have a medic, and big ad in the hands of Meat Market.
That's a medic on medic brutality there from May, who slipped through the shutter and was able to fire an arrow into the flank and get the pick on Phantom.
Good call out from Corsa and Broking saying, I did good damage. And May just lined that shot up. Very, very good for them now. If they win this round off of that, and if they hold on to this 4-3 lead, assuming they win this round with this advantage, that's going to be a huge turning point for that match.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a great story to tell? Oh, we turned on when our medic arrowed yours and killed him.
So here comes the push, lined up on the left. Of course, it takes the Uber. Max with the perfect angle to spam on top of this sentry, using the Scorch Shot detonator jump, as it were, to get on there. Does manage to slow down the Uber long enough, but will it be enough? Phantom at 90% here, very close to getting the Uber, and not a lot of cap time here. They will have it in time, and Meat Market are all bunched up in front of this point here, on front of the shutter. Nice rocket from Mason does connect onto an escaping Corsa, and now the Uber's popped off from Phelps, who's rushing forward, gonna get onto this demo. Can he grab Cookie as well? My nose is getting stuffy, and now, finally, this Uber has failed. Turbine retreats in shame.
Yeah, great rockets from Mason to get the spam out there, but again, Phantom maybe Ubering a little earlier than he needed to. There was no damage on that shutter. There was no stickies there. They weren't even really looking too much that direction, but an early pop and then the chase down, not able to clean up any frags, despite there being low health on Meat Market.
Ooh, Marin with the bomb, trying to get a little bit of damage off before rejoining his team. He's gonna go all around the way. Good pipe from Dingo is gonna get Sin down to very low health. Does get shotgunned down from Max the engineer. Going to swap back off at any moment. Happy Cools tries to peek out through this lobby, does spot out the players, and Marvel as well, getting some good rockets, going to pick off Cookie. So this is a great time for Turbine to make their way forward. Dingo, though, takes a huge sticky from Mr. Alex as he's trying to lock down this point with a couple more stickies. The scouts are waiting for the opportunity, and Broking bombs at the right time, gets the force off, and a lot of damage off. Can he make the escape? Sin as well, also in a very bad position here. They do pick up Marmalou, but that is the only frag. 2 soldiers for 1. That is not good math. But May has the Uber. Can they do a good play here in lobby? They're ready to push. They're gonna use it.
Yeah, you would have liked Marmalou to live there, because then maybe if Meat Market's pushing, then it's a 6v4 just with Uber Ed. Here now it's a 6v5 with Uber Ed, and I'd be shocked if CTF hangs around this point.
Yeah, they try to get some spam off here. May very low on health. Mason had an opportunity but does back off, and May not dissuaded from pushing forward with Corsa. They're going to be walking forward. W held. Now they're getting their way out, locking them out on the right side here, but no one else to follow up with. This Uber is all but failed, and now with the med going down, the scouts collapsing, Corsa not getting anything else. It's going to be Sin with the bomb on left. No, he backs off. He had the chance. He could have walked left.
He gave him the stare down.
Yeah.
He says, if you're going to come through this little choke, I'm going to hit you with a pill. And that was enough.
Yeah, Sin, though, still in a great position to get a force off here. He's waiting underneath. Broking getting some spam off. He's waiting for the call out. Here comes the bomb.
No one sees him.
Snaked his way forward, but didn't connect any of those rockets that he needed to. Phantom barely brushed by those rockets. Going to be moving forward here through this lobby. No, they're going back once again in this valley route. They really like their valley, despite the heavy low ground situation. They are going to get a frag here. They're going to lose Mason, but send some players forward here. Sticky Trap goes off from Dingo, doesn't connect with, or excuse me, from Alex, doesn't connect. But Max is now making his way forward here. He does spot out the demo, rotates back through the drop down, and Dingo is ready to push through this choke. Here's the bomb, perfectly poised onto May's feet. No surviving that one. If
Sin didn't fall to the floor, he might have actually been able to protect his medic there, but Dingo alone, that's a tough task to ask when the roamer comes flying in there for your demo to be the one to stop him.
Yeah, very good timing, and that's going to definitely swing things back into the hands of Turbine. We'll see how they hold onto this ad and push forward. Looks like they're opting to go main. Broking and forward spawn, though.
He is hiding in the forward, and he's not on sniper, though. Maybe a chance to do it there, but here's the Uber coming in deep.
Yeah, the Uber's forced pretty early. They do manage to pick up Cookie as a consolation prize, but now Broking, he's going to initiate. Stop this point. Happy Cool almost survives. Oh, he's just, oh, these angles, dude.
Phantom's going to run into Broking. Down he goes.
And there goes Phantom medic. Good defense from E-Market, but they did lose their own medic as well. Happy Cool does manage to survive after that onslaught fight versus Broking. Broking did go down.
That could have been really good for CTF if they just managed to keep Phantom up, but he was trying to retreat because it was a low number scrum, and Broking just happened to be coming right behind him. So we get to reset for last once again, and we haven't really seen too many off classes in terms of pushing last from either team, but we have seen a lot of engineer, which I approve of always when you're defending last. And Cookie's got that gun set up right next to the crates, typical spot. Not opting for the pyro though.
Yeah, pyro's very strong on this point, only if you can pick the right door to lock them in. But usually it works out for them. If they push, you know, if you're defending as a pyro and they push left side, they have to cover a lot of ground to get in. So usually your best bet is right side, as we saw from Max earlier. So typically you'll see pyros play that right side, and then main usually has a lot of attention. So most of the time, pyro on last is a great way to stuff an Uber.
Yeah, you put that pyro on the right side with the sentry, and then no matter what direction they put, they decide to push in. He's just gonna deny that spam.
Precisely. A little bit of a one-for-one exchange here. Mamalu and Sin lock eyes and die a lover's death, Romeo and Juliet style, with a little bit of help from a scout.
Which one was Romeo and which one was Juliet?
Marmio and Siniet.
I like it. I like it. That's a story I would read. Well, here's the reset once again. May going into the valley to stay safe. Looks like still no off classes from CTF. Maybe they'll just opt for another double sack.
Right after this bomb comes out, I'd just like to say that keep an eye out from Putis Fazbear, Marmio, and Siniet, the latest slash fic. But now, with all this bombing done and out, we're seeing Meat Market getting a little bit of room here, pushing out into this lobby here. CTF is set up very far left. They have eyes through this window, and nope, looks like Meat Market is not going to be pushing out. Just getting a little bit of eyes out.
I actually don't have the clock on my HUD for some reason, but how much time do we have left in this half?
ESEA servers do not have the clock set for the 30 minutes. But we thankfully have Looster, our camera guy, who has it for you and our viewers at home. We have 8 minutes and 30 seconds left right about now.
Yeah, shout out to the big Looster stepping in with that info. 8 minutes, 40 seconds. Maybe CTF just thinking we could wait this out and give it one final push where only we get the upper hand. Because they can't go the whole way in 1 minute.
Happy Cool, though, dies. 1-for-1 exchange here now. Popping both dudes off, but can't save Turbine's team. Phantom pops off a little late this time. Can't find the balance between too early and too late.
Yeah, the Uber execution, not ideal there again from Phantom. It could have saved his Uber probably, but tried to save someone who ended up dying. Unfortunate transposition there.
Yeah, now Meat Market kind of tried to make a little bit of aggression from there, tried to get some room. Didn't find it though. Turbine was just set up for good defense overall. And now we're seeing, once again, these players have managed to lock themselves into a defensive position on both sides. No one's really using this lobby right now. They're on second, they're on last. Lobby's just kind of the neutral area right now.
Yeah, looking at this rationally from Meat Market, here's another sack coming in from Marmaloo, but the gun denies him pretty handily.
If that giant bridge wasn't there, that was a good rocket from Marm. But doesn't connect, of course.
And Broken goes and sacks in, doesn't find anything himself. But yeah, looking at this logically from Meat Market, he tried to push it out with the Uber and initiate there. And honestly, I think they got lucky to even be in the position to just reset because Phantom used that Uber there. I hope maybe they can temper the aggression coming out of last here. I wouldn't want them to see themselves lose a round because they feel like they have to push out of last. It's very tough.
And now they have Happy Cool, the friendly sniper spy, walking into Broking.
Did the butts touch? Do they know he's on spy?
No, they have no.
Oh my god.
Fucking Alex had his pain train out and was just rotating to the right side and just boop right into the spy. And
Cookie gives him the Irish jig after the kill there.
Yeah. Very unfortunate positioning, but that's what happens when you're playing Cloak and Dagger. Sometimes you're just out of cloak and gotta stand still, and then poop, someone walks into you. So the cap is starting up for Meat Market. They're getting players forward. The Uber is popped off. May not able to save Corsa here, and a lot of players were playing in the lobby, wrapping around. But Phelps himself also rotating through this lobby, getting met up with his team. But this a sticky trap. He looked at it, accepted his fate, turned around, and then died.
Yeah, there was a nice awkward pause between realization and death there. Sin also tried to find the health pack lower and died when he was pushing out. So Meat Market once again resigned to defending last here.
Time is ticking.
Though. That was really
4
a good
minutes in
attempt.
this round timer, actually. If neither team caps a point here, it's going to be a full round reset, but I don't even think there's enough time. There'd be like 1 minute left if no one caps this point. So we'll be going to a golden cap if nothing happens from this.
Yeah, no, if this round resets, I don't think there's enough time for anyone to win the next one.
But right now, Turbine is determined to win this round. They've pushed forward, created a lot of room here in the banana, but now Meat Market is also deciding, hey, this is our lobby. Let's push forward. They pop off early. Phantom quick to the trigger, trying to save Mason. Got very low on health there. Mac goes down, which means Turbine has less numbers for this post-Uber, but they've pushed all the way back to their lobby, or excuse me, to their second to play defense, while the rest of Meat Market is determined to start making their way through here. Of course, he goes down to the trap. The opening is up for Broking as he gets a lot of damage off. 2 great rockets, and Sin goes down. No player jumping behind. It is just Max the Spy.
Nobody saw Cookie. He went all the way around lower and came right behind the medic in pocket. Free meat shots. No one saw him coming. Broking landed on them with rockets. So much damage came out. They just crumbled immediately.
Oh, will May see it? Does May call it? May gets the frag, in fact.
Max on the secret agent man there. Unable to get the backstab onto May. Let's see how this turns out. Meat Market now, they got what they wanted.
Marm just walked through lobby, rotated through this little side door, and they just got the perfect 1 rocket to kill the medic. So now Phantom, who's actually managed to be nowhere between him and the enemy team, with only half people to defend him now, it's very fast aggression coming out. Phantom will be able to get back to the resup and heal up Marmaloo to get out of this lobby, or at least out of the spawn door. But it's going to be very tough with Cookie on the point. Can they get the cap off in time? Phantom's rotating around, can't get it. And that's going to be a 4-3 lead for Meat Market with less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes left. So we need to have a perfect round from Turbine, almost, just to win this, or just to bring it to a golden cap.
Well, they need a mid win. 3 minutes is plenty of time to win a round, but you need to win the mid. If you don't win the mid, that's pretty much hopeless. Don't even necessarily need to kill the medic.
And with the way Turbine has been playing their passive mids, and Phantom already taking an early shot from Broking, who's managed to pick up Dingo, rotating through the lobby. That's not a good start for Turbine. They're going to have to back out of here with their meta live. Broking's coming through the drop down as slowly as he can, does not opt to go through it. Backs out instead, and Meat Market now with a 4-3 lead and the mid fight. They can do this a lot of different ways. They're going to be opting to play very far forward here. Broking's going to initiate, try to pull some players across, bring about some crossfire here from the choke as Max goes down and Broking makes it out. No, he does finally get pistoled off by Happy Cool. Dingo's very aggressive though from drop down, trying to clear out this valley as he does spot out Sin. Does manage to pick up the truck pack and make his way over to the defensive position on mid. There is Alex spamming all these different angles, trying to get anything he can. Dingo, very low on health, tries to initiate here. All these players on Turbine are very desperate to get through. They have no time to work with, and now here comes the pop. Dingo's trying to dance with these stickies. Throws it everywhere he can, but it doesn't connect. It doesn't work out for him, and he craters in the valley. Turbine grasping at straws right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have to push their way into mid. Time is definitely a factor in their decision to go there. And you called it, yeah, Dingo cratered. He was trying to land on the upper ledge lip of the flank, but just barely didn't have the health to make that jump. Here comes Meat Market looking for the 5th round.
Very strong opposition to Turbine. Meat Market has the better hand in all these different areas here. The spam is strong, and they just kind of lock these players in every direction and finish off that cap, making it a 5-3 from a 2-1 deficit in the first half. Very good turnaround from Meat Market.
Really a dominant second half after maybe a little too much aggression, and I think also a little bit of trepidation on the part of CTF. They were a little passive and hesitant in that second half. and some of the Ubers not maybe executed to their heart's content as good as they would have liked. But really, overall, a close game and a good showing from both teams. They can definitely match up well.
Are you excited to hear the coolest stat of this match?
Not as excited as I am to read that Romeo and Juliet book spinoff, but let's hear the coolest stat. I'm second most excited for that.
Corsa is precisely 2-1 frags to kills, or frags to deaths. Can you guess his deaths?
There's a lot of dust on both sides, so I'm still going to guess under 20, though.
Over 20, but that just means that he has 52 frags, 26 deaths.
Oh, wow.
And also top damage with 16,000 damage.
Yeah, I just pulled this up too. Those are some fat stats. 275 DPM, 52 frags, pretty good.
Second most heals as well on his team, so that's only expected.
Yeah, I mean, that was a game with a lot of scrappy fights, and you want to heal your scouts a lot when that happens. So both teams really, you see the heals spread pretty evenly. The scouts getting a lot. Yeah, I mean, almost 90 frags for the scouts on both teams. That just goes to show you that over an hour-long game with lots of back and forth fighting leads to a lot of frags and deaths.
Yeah. Not seeing any other fantastic stats coming out. Dingo pulling up a 15,000 for his own team, as well as I wouldn't say regrettable, but just an unfortunate kill to death ratio, as Alex was having a good game. He died the least, ignoring medics, and that's a stat you want to see on your demo typically, especially when he's also pulling third most frags for his team.
Yeah, and props to both medics for not dropping any. You got to give him that, as well as May picking up 2 frags with the crossbow himself. 1 med pick, as we all clearly saw.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, the stats tell the story of what we saw, which was a back and forth game where there were definitely chances for both sides, and the Meat Market just managed to pull it out. And they're going to turn to 3-0 on the year now, undefeated.
Oh, I actually forgot the most important stat here. May has 1 med pick.
Yes, exactly. That 1 med pick with the crossbow.
That
very
definitely
clearly
made everything.
Very clearly the highlight. He almost was able to get the. Or no, yeah. Maybe that was the turning point of the match. Now
that was the turning point that we mentioned.
Exactly.
Put it later. Good story for later.
Game ball goes to May for the. You think so for that era?
Oh yeah, that round was pivotal for them.
Yeah, and not a bad showing at all though from Bring Back Turbine DM. They are still well on their way to campaigning to indeed bring back Turbine DM, something I think we all miss dearly, obviously. I know I miss jumping around on those turbines.
Hey, if Freight's still in the rotation, why not Turbine?
Yeah, exactly. If Freight is in the DM rotation, why not? Exactly. I got rid of G-Pit too, so maybe we can see that one get a campaign next season.
That's going to be it, man. Next season. But for now, I think that just about wraps everything up here. We've got all our stats on the screen. We've shared our thoughts regarding this wonderful comeback from Meat Market, taking that first half with not a lot of strides, but after that, that mid-half pep talk, they got back into the swing of things and pulled a crushing 4-1 on the second half to secure this victory. I'm very happy to see that Meat Market will be continuing their strides in the season with a 3-0, currently undefeated, along with Freyotech and other teams that I will now relay to you. No, those are the only undefeated teams. It's Meat Market and Freyotech.
Yep, Bring Back Turbine was the third one, but they're going to suffer their first loss here. Meat Market's going to be playing Ascent later in this week, so they might be able to get off to a 4-1 start in what could be a very competitive game there. And Bring Back Turbine going to be facing Velocity in their match, and I believe that is I think that's tomorrow. But either way, facing Velocity later this week. Where they had a good performance today against Meat Market, so you might think they're the favorites there as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see these teams continue forward. I had some reservations about Bring Back Turbine, but when you see Marmaloo, you're like, oh yeah, that's what I like. And so I was I was glad to see that Marmalu is also still doing just wonderful in his new home with Max, Dingo, Mason, and Phelps working things up. We'll see how they make some changes going forward and prepare themselves for the rest of the season. And I think that just about does it. You got any shout outs, Skyrolla?
I just shout outs to everyone who turned in and got to watch an exciting match. This was a fun one. It was nice casting with you for the first time, Ro.
Yes, it's been very, very enjoyable, Skyrolla. Appreciate the commentary on our analyses, all that stuff. I'm horrible with that stuff, but I try. So thanks.
Yep. Make sure you get your plugs in too, Ro.
Shout outs to Map Test Pugs and Lucrative. So with that, we're going to see you guys another time. Be sure to check out teamfortress.tv. We have all the fixins for this season, and we'll be sticking around. We're all over the place. We have a Discord. You know where to find us. If you're watching right now, you know us. But yeah, be sure to check out teamfortress.tv if you're on YouTube. We have all kinds of forum stuff and updates to the schedule regarding any future matches. And we hope to see you guys next time.